Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgiemon and I'm your friendly neighborhood anime and manga fan. I love all things anime and all things manga, and I'm here today to talk about Chainsaw Man chapter 117. So, what did I think about this week's chapter? I personally loved this chapter. I thought this chapter was amazing, and I liked all the implications that it set forward, because now we got a lot of, starting to see a lot of the seeds being planted, because this chapter was jam-packed. We got a lot of action, we got a lot of character moments between Denji and Asa, as well as we got to see, what the, something about the main bad guy, which is Fami. And, I just think this chapter was great. Now, before we get into this week's chapter, I just wanted to give you guys a quick reminder to make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you guys can be up to date with all Chainsaw Man anime and manga content going forward. And I would really appreciate it if you guys could subscribe to my YouTube channel. It would really help me a lot. But with that being said, let's get into this week's chapter. Now, this chapter starts off where we left off in the last chapter, which was pretty much, Asa was gonna build that aquarium sphere. And, she told Denji, hey, stay in the corner, close your eyes, cover your ears, don't listen to anything. And, Denji followed and listened to her. And she did tell him, like, do that. And Denji starts reflecting in this week's chapter. That's where we picked up. He pretty much starts reflecting, like, what am I doing? Like, I told myself I would never blindly obey anybody anymore. I'm done with that. And that was a great moment for Denji, because we know what he's been through. We know that, he used to be blindly manipulated by Makima and whatnot. But now, since part 1, he's gone so much growth. And it was great seeing Denji just pretty much, saying no to that. Like, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm beyond past that. And I just loved that moment between Denji and just himself in his inner monologue, thinking, like, what am I doing? Like, that was great. I love that part of the chapter quite a lot. Now, continuing that on, pretty much what happens is Denji, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna, I'm done with this. Screw this, man. I'm not gonna listen to this. And the next thing you see is pretty much Denji. It seems like he's in the open, and pretty much what happened, the aquarium sphere happened, which made the aquarium disappear. So now they're back in the regular world, and you see that Denji sees a penguin, and Denji, he's like, no way. And he goes for the penguin, and he goes for the grab, and like, he hugs it. And Denji's just like a little kid, and he's so excited to see this penguin. It's so adorable, and I thought that was a very cute moment of Denji once again. I thought he was adorable. He wanted to see his penguins, and guess what? Not only did he get to see the penguins, he got to hold one. So that's awesome. Now, Asa, on the other hand, she's fighting against pretty much the Eternity Double. You see the Eternity Double, pretty much his true form, and it looks way different than it did in part 1. It would make sense since he got reincarnated and why not, so it would take a different appearance. And you see that he's like, you thought you could buy an aquarium with 1,000,000 yen? Are you that dumb? And he's like, pretty much like flabbergasted by that. He's like, you imbecile. He tries to kill her, but what happens is Yoshida goes for the safe, and you see he uses the octopus devil, and he breaks a couple of the limbs of the Eternity Devil. And there's a great moment of Yoshida just pretty much saying, like, I gotta thank you for, because I get to see the sky, and now I get to appreciate the things that I didn't appreciate before. Like, the sky looks beautiful now, so thanks to you, I won't take for granted the little things. And it's a little smug from Yoshida. Yoshida is very smug like, so that was a great moment for him. As for Asa, she, Yoru takes control. She's like, okay, wow, Asa, only you would feel so bad about this aquarium. Like, you're so lame. She's just kind of like, wow, I'm surprised it actually worked, but hey, I'm here now. And she takes over, and then she just tells the Eternity Double, like, hey, you think it wasn't enough? You think my 1,000,000 yen wasn't enough? Then here, take the rest. And she throws this spear, and this spear completely annihilates the Eternity Double into pieces. Like, this dude gets one-shotted, and it's amazing. Like, it's this great big 2 double-page spread, and it looks amazing. It looks great. And pretty much following that up, you see all the guts flying. And the rest of the, the Devil Hunter Association high school club thing, they're like, what the heck? Or like, whoa. Like, they're all shocked by this. And you just see Denji holding this penguin. It's like, hey, I want to keep this. He's so cute. And it's amazing. I love Denji and that little penguin, man. Like, make that his new pet. Now, following that, we see that pretty much Fami shows up, and she's like, wow, I guess this was, pretty disappointing. It wasn't worth, like, what a shame. It wasn't worth it. And you see that Yoshida gives her a look, and it's kind of like a look like, hey, I know what you're up to, or like kind of from my interpretation, it was kind of like, hey, back off. Like, and Fami just, she looks back at him and they kind of like mad dog each other. So I'm sure that Yoshida has a little bit of perspective of what might be happening at the moment, because like, we know that she's obviously one of the horsemen of the apocalypse, and I'm sure that Yoshida, he's either he knows something's up with her. Either he knows that she's an enemy, or that she's straight up the the famine devil, but we don't know. I will say that stare down was epic. Yoshida once again proving why he's a Chad, looking in front of a horseman of the apocalypse, and he just doesn't even face once. First with Kwanchi, now with famine. Yoshida's a Chad. Now continuing on, we see that pretty much the everything gets cleaned up, and Denji's sad because the penguin has to go away, and it's sad. It's the penguin, man. That was his buddy. So he has to go back to the aquarium, and why not? And pretty much Denji walks Asa home, and Asa she tells Denji like, thanks for walking me home. By the way, that was definitely the worst day that I ever been to. And Denji's like, it wasn't so bad. Come on, I got to touch penguins. And she's like, yeah. And he's like, yeah. So Denji completely disregarding what her scenario was and how she, how her experience of it was. He had a blast. He got to see some penguins, and he got to hold one and play with one. So for Denji, this was a 10 out of 10 date. But to her, obviously, she did not have that. She did have fun, but obviously throughout it all, it was still a pretty bad experience. But I thought that was hilarious. Just Denji just being like, "Yeah, I had a fun time," and she's like, "Yeah, you did, sure, I guess." Now, Denji brings up the point that, hey, you did tell me that you would grant me any requests, didn't you? And she's like, I did. And he's like, okay. Denji then says, you know what? Okay, here's my request. I would like to take you on another date. And Asa's like, what? She's confused, like, what the heck? And this is, I speculated this would happen, and I'm sure a lot of people did too. So I thought it was cool that it actually came to fruition. I was guessing either he was gonna say, let's go on another date, or can you be my girlfriend? So I'm glad that I was correct when it came to that. I wasn't the only one, but I'm just glad that I was correct, because I would love that scene, and I did love it because it did happen. So also she's just confused, like, huh? And then she's like, you don't have a lot of experience with dates, and I have a lot of experiences with dates, so let me show you what a good date looks like. And she's like, okay, sure. And then she's like, awesome. And it's a cute panel. You see both of them like, because Denji's just pretty much telling her like, hey, I'll treat you right. I'll take you to an awesome date, so you know what an awesome date looks like. And both of them, Denji gives her the peace sign because she smiles. It's a cute scene. It's very, I think the way that Fujimoto has written both of them, it's been great. And I think that, like I said, I think they're cute together. I mean, I can't deny it, man. I just think they're so adorable. And I think Denji and Asa going forward, I think that's going to be, their relationship is going to be one of the main focuses, if not the main focus of the story, besides obviously dealing with the famine devil and whatnot. But I think these two will be definitely the heart of the story going forward. Maybe whether they become a couple, or if they keep dating, a little romance kind of thing. But I definitely think that, their chemistry and, their romance, I think that will be one of the connective tissues going forward with the story. And what we see is after that, is that Yoru, she's like, wow, you're in love. And Asa's like, what? And Yoru was like, yep, you're in love. And, this, I can't believe I'm in love with this prick, because, part of my brain is, I'm part of your brain too. So this sucks. Like, it's like, whatever. But you know what? This is still going according to plan. And Asa's like, what? It's like, and then you just see that pretty much Yoru takes over Asa. So pretty much after Yoru takes over Asa's body, you see that, like, she shakes, and, you see that Yoru's in control now. Yoru's the one driving, the steering wheel. She's in control of the body, and she just proceeds to touch Denji, and she goes, Denji spinal cord sword. So that's where the chapter ends. Now, we do know that the War Devil is trying to turn Denji into a weapon, but my question is, can she even attempt to do so? Will she even be able to? Because there's either two ways to go about it. Either it's gonna work, and Denji dies, and either Yoshida or somebody wraps his cord up and he comes back to life, or it just simply doesn't work. Similar to a Jujutsu Kaisen where Mahito tries to take over Juji, and make him a monster. But then Sukuna is like, hey, what are you doing? Kind of like, will Pochita's like inner consciousness kind of block the War Devil and kind of like make the War Devil like hesitate, like, hey, what the, you're actually the War Devil, like you're actually the Chainsaw Man, what the heck? But that's my speculation. I think if I had to guess, I think Denji will not die. However, it's Fujimoto, you don't know. This dude loves killing his characters. I mean, look at part 1. I wouldn't be too shocked. But I hope Denji doesn't die, because I want to see Asa and Denji's relationship going forward, and I would love to see, you know, them both as a characters grow together. But hopefully, you know, fingers crossed he doesn't die. But Fujimoto, you know, he's very unorthodox when it comes to his storytelling, so he, you know, nobody's safe when it comes to his death toll. But yeah, with that being said, comment down below, did you guys love this chapter? Did you guys hate it? Did you guys think it was alright? Whatever you guys thought, let me know in the comment section down below. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more anime and manga content in the near future. But yeah, with that being said, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye bye.